Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Holmes. Hi vinyl people, I miss you all. Today I have a really cute project that has to do with spring dandelions. Spring is in the air, very much so. So we are going to celebrate by creating a spring dandelion artwork. All you need for this artwork is a Sharpie. If you're not comfortable drawing directly with Sharpie, you can have a pencil also. And if you have any watercolors or markers, that would be really nice for a background, but we're really concentrating on some drawing and repetition using the Sharpie or your pencil. So what we're doing is something called rotational symmetry. It means symmetry, meaning the same thing on both sides. Rotational symmetry means it's the same thing as it goes around in a circle. So we're going to try and do some rotational symmetry with our spring dandelions. So for the dandelion, we're gonna have one big one here, that's my plan, a small one here, and a smaller one here. We're gonna have some of those little seeds floating off into the wind. So to start off, I wanna do my big one. I'm going to start with the middle of my dandelion. So I'll just make a little black dot there, and you don't have to use black. Black is kind of fun because we're using colors in the background, so the black against the color makes a really nice contrast, but you could use whatever color you wanted to that is a dark-ish color. I'm going to go ahead and make a line going through it, a line going through it, like so a big X, and then a big plus. This is going to be our circular dandelion right there. Now we need a little bit more than that, so I'm going to go ahead and make some more longer ones in between each one. They don't have to be perfect. Definitely don't use a ruler. Nobody's got time for that. Well, maybe we do nowadays, but you can just eye it up. It's just fine. So now in between each big one, I'm going to make some small ones, filling in the space so it looks like it's a nice full dandelion head. Now at the end of the small ones, I'm going to make some little circles. These will just try to look like seedlings in the background. And at the end of the big ones, I'm going to make a little chicken foot. A chicken foot meaning line, line, line. Doesn't that look sort of like a chicken foot to a certain extent? We're going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and make my chicken foot at the end of each one. So a V with a line, V with a line. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, all the way around. These are going to look like those little wispies that float away in the wind when you blow them. Is there anyone out there who has never blown a dandelion before? You should definitely go ahead and do that. I'm going to make a couple more because I have some space there. I think it'll look a little better if I fill in the space. So you don't have to have a perfect number of these lines going out, but they're all just radiating around in a circle. And the more I put there, the more interesting it looks. Have fun with it. Don't get frustrated if it doesn't look like mine, because it won't. Yours is going to look like yours, which is awesome. We want yours to look like a unique, original piece of art. All right, so we've got one dandelion done. I'm going to put a stem coming down, which is good. Then we'll do another one right here. Circle, plus, X. Doesn't it remind you a little bit of making a snowflake? Have you ever made snowflakes like this before? Just throw those in there to fill up the space. Small ones in the middle. These are supposed to be far away and they look like those little dots or little seedlings that are far away. Then the chicken foot, chicken foot, chicken foot, chicken foot. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's kind of fun if you get into a rhythm. You can get lost in it. Make some beautiful art. Meditate. Create patterns. It's all good. Looks all right. A little skimpy right here, so I might add another. If you feel like it's a little too skimpy in yours, you can add more. Completely up to you. Another stem. And my last one, this will be my tiny one. I'll put it right here. I'll scoot it over so you can see it a little bit better here. Plus X, and then fill in the blanks until it looks good to you. You are the only one who can say, that's good enough. I'm happy with it. It's always good to take your art teacher's suggestions if sometimes she or he might think you might need a little more, but ultimately, you are the boss of your own artwork. You need to be happy with it. Okay, so I've got my dandelions, not too bad. Pretty interesting. So let's make it more interesting. You need to make a background. So I have pre-poured some liquid watercolor. I have some yellow. This is green, and I've got some turquoise. But like I said, if you don't have any liquid watercolor or even the cake watercolor at home, you could water down a little bit of acrylic or any other kind of paint that you might have, tempera. If you don't have paints at all, markers or even crayons will work. So I'll put these off to the side so you can see them. I've got my clean water here, a nice thick paintbrush. I'm going to swirl it up in my water, and I am going to paint around all of my dandelions. I know you can't see it. I'm painting with clean water right now. We've done this before in a couple of my classes where we're doing a technique. It's called wet on wet. So we're just putting down water, but I'm being super careful to not go into my dandelion. I know you can't see it, but I'm trying really hard to not go into the dandelion. I'm just going around that area, and I'm laying down some water. Now that I've got it wet, I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of color on it. Here's some green, here's some teal, which mixed together looks very pretty. Maybe I'll throw in a little yellow. And what should be happening is the area where you put water down will become saturated with the paint, and the area that you didn't put any water down will have blank white spaces, which will really highlight your drawing. This is almost a halo effect. You've got some beautiful stuff going around. Feel free to experiment with other colors, maybe some beautiful sunset colors like reds and purples and oranges. Might look really pretty too. But I'm just going around, being really careful to not get into the dandelion. And if I do, no biggie. I'm just going to make it part of my art if I do. Because mistakes happen. And sometimes mistakes turn out to be blessings in disguise. They look really neat as part of your art. So I'm going to quickly just fill the rest of this in. Oh, you know what I forgot? I have to have my little dandelion wispies flying away in the sky. Can't forget that. So I'll scoot these over a tiny bit. Oh, shiny. Someone's blowing on this, or perhaps the wind is. And I've got some seedlings flying off in the distance, so some little dots. And then I'm going to make a line, and then that chicken foot again. Line, chicken foot, line, chicken foot. They can go in different directions too. They don't have to all go in the same direction. Looks more unique, original, realistic that way. Couple more. All right, so, whoops. Oh well, see, make it part of the art. Now I'm gonna go around these guys. With my green, with my turquoise, and I'm being super careful to not go into them. Just blocking in the color quickly before it dries. Sometimes when watercolor dries, it gets a little bit harder to work with. But it's all good. It is all good. So I'm going around again, and I'm not being super, super careful. Sometimes if you get a little bit on there, that is okay. Comes out pretty nice. Remember, perfect is boring, so sometimes mistakes are really, like I said, they can make your art look unique. Not like a computer did it. We are not computers. We're on them a lot these days, but we are not computers. We are humans, and there is nothing more beautiful than a handmade, human-made artwork, in my opinion. But of course, I'm an art teacher, so I'm going to think that. But I love all of the stuff that you guys do, and thank you so much for sharing it with me. I love to see what you do. Like I said, I miss you guys. I haven't seen you, and it's probably going on for quite a while now. So I hope to see you very, very soon. Back in the art room at Vinyl, where we can make beautiful, beautiful creations together. So here it is. You could probably do this in a half hour or so. And again, remember, if you want to use pencil first for this part, you absolutely can. Whatever you are comfortable with is all about you. You are the boss of your artwork. Thank you for joining me for Spring Dandelions. I can't wait to see you guys again. Like I said, keep creating, keep painting, keep drawing. I'd love to see what you came up with if you try this project. Please do try it. And again, if you don't have paint, use whatever you have for color. So this makes a nice contrast. The black and white against the color, really, really beautiful. This is worthy of a frame. You put one of your artworks in a frame that you get at Walmart, stick it on the wall, and some people will think it's a professional piece of work, I bet. And people will cherish it forever. So, please, please, please tune in next time. I will have some more fun and interesting things. Share what you did, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.